नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टाप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिके। ॐ ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपात्तमं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीर्घारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभयेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपगदामह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। श्रीरूपगोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, प्रभुपाद की जय, गौरभक्तवृंद की जय। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Creation of the Fourth Order, Chapter 22, Prithu Maharaj meeting with four Kumaras, verse number 16. Vyaktam atmavatam atma Bhagavan atmabhavana Swaram anugrahaye mam Siddharupi charati aja. Vyaktam atmavatam atma Bhagavan atmabhavana Swanam anugrahaya imam siddharupi charati aja. Vyaktam atmavatam atma bhagavatam atmabhavana Swanam anugrahaya imam siddharupi charati aja. What word? Vyaktam, clear. Atmavatam, of the transcendentalist. Atma, the goal of life. Bhagavan, the supreme personality of Godhead. Atma Bhavana, always wishing to elevate the living entities. Swanam, whose own devotees. Anugrahaya, just to show mercy. Imam, this way. Siddha Rupi, perfectly self-realized. Charati, travels. Aja, Narayana, translation by Divine Gaze, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is always anxious to elevate the living entities who are his part and parcels. And for their special benefit, the Lord travels all over the world in the form of self-realized persons like you. Repeat, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is always anxious to elevate the living entities who are his part and parcels. And for their special benefit, the Lord travels all over the world in the form of self-realized persons like you. Purport Bishop Prabhupada. There are different kinds of transcendentalists, namely the Jnanis or impersonalists, the mystic yogis, and of course all the devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Kumaras, however, were both yogis and Jnanis, and finally Bhaktas later on. In the beginning, they were impersonalists, but later they developed devotional activities. Therefore, they are the best of the transcendentalists. The devotees are representatives of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and to elevate the conditioned souls to their original consciousness, they travel all over the universe to enlighten the conditioned souls about Krishna consciousness. The best devotee or Atmavat are those who have fully realized the Supreme Soul, the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Paramatma, is sitting within everyone's heart, trying to elevate everyone to the platform of Krishna consciousness. Therefore, he is called Atma Bhavana. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is always trying to give the individual souls the intelligence to understand about himself. He is always with the individual as a friend sitting by the side of a friend, and he gives facilities to all living entities according to their desires. This is Anumanta Upadrakshta Bhakta Bhakta Sakshane. There's a verse in Bhagavad Gita. So how Lord is sitting, is watching board and eating board. Eating board is the soul, watching board is the Supreme Lord, Super Soul. Is guiding to the extent what he needs and what his desires are. what he wants to do. His free will. Accordingly, Lord is guiding as a friend. Suhrat is the most well-wishing friend. Lord Krishna is another verse in Bhagavad Gita. There are many verses related to that. Isvara sarvabhutanam hrideshwarjana tishthat brahmaya sarvabhutani yantrarudha. Lord is situated in the heart of the living entity. But when he doesn't follow his direction, he runs in so many different planets, different branches. He's going up and down, different species of life, different ashrams. He's changing all that. But one who wants to follow his direction, matta smritir gnanam apohanancha, then Lord will give intelligence, strength, everything. He's guiding as a friend, but to the degree what he wants to do. So free will comes into picture also, and desires. The word Atmavatam is significant in this verse. There are three different kinds of devotees, namely Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, and Uttamadhikari. The neophyte, the preacher, and Mahabhagavata are highly advanced devotee. So Kanishtadhikari stage many times I mentioned. This is the stage. Archaya harai yaktujan sadayayate bhakteshu chanyeshu savakta prakrita. One who's situated on the external periphery, one who is on the external layer is Bahiranga Bhakta. Is outside, is always running towards the Lord, deity, but not so much concerned about the devotees. He hasn't understood the essence of bhakti. And so that is the Kanishta stage. One Madhyamadikari stage means is rather also giving highest importance to serve Lord's representatives, pure devotees of the Lord, spiritual masters, sadhus, and trying to follow their instruction and trying to serve them. He has faith, but he hasn't completely came to the perfection of life. He has conviction that Lord is the protector, Lord is the maintainer, the verse Rupa Goswami gives for the Madhyamadikar is Iswara Tadadina Balishes Dishastuja Krupa Maitru Peksha Sa Bhakta Madhyama. One who loves Supreme Lord Iswara Tadadina, his devotees, and he makes equal at his level, equal level. One who's on the equal level, he makes friendship with them. One who's on the lower level than him, he is very compassionate. Krupa Maitri Upeksha. He will show mercy to the lower level, and then Maitri at the same level, and then he'll take the association of advanced devotees, and then envious people, Balish Dvishastu. So Dvishastu, one who is envious, he'll upeksha, he will not touch them because that is Uttamadikari. Devotees who will be able to convince them, they have strong faith, so strong conviction, they are at the highest level, so that he leaves to them. But rest of the people is always compassionate, is making friendship, and is taking the association higher. Advanced devotees. That is the Madhyamadikari. But he understands the position of devotee, how important it is to progress in devotional service, all that. So that's why he's in a Madhyamadikari stage. Uttamadikari stage is seeing everywhere Supreme Lord is saying everybody is better than him. He's always thinking how he can serve better, how he wasted life. He's always thinking, he's always crying. He's always crying, like Madhavendra Puri crying, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu crying. All the acharyas are always crying. They're always thinking low. We'll see that. So, the song, we're going to sing a song of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Uttamadikari stage is Thavara Jangam, Deke na Deke, Ishta Devata, Sarvatra Hoy, Ishta Devata, everywhere is seeing the super soul supreme Lord. That's why when Prahlad Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu said, "Is there your Lord is there in this pillar?" Yes, yes. He said, "Yes, Sarvatra Hoy, Ishta Devata, everywhere is there, but not only just here. Now, can you show me?" And then he said, "Yes." Then immediately, Lord is because Prahlad Maharaj is a great devotee, so he is able to see everywhere, Lord. So for him, there is no problem. Then immediately Lord appeared there. Satyam Vidatum Nijivritya Vasitam Vyaptin Cha Bhuteshu Akileshu Cha Atmana Stambhe Savayam Namrugam Namanusham Ati Adbhuta Rupam Stambhe Savayam Namrugam Namanusham, including even Lakshmi Devi didn't see this form before. Ati Adbhuta Rupam. So yeah, she hasn't even seen this form. Such a ferocious, beautiful form. And Lord has appeared just to facilitate his love and exchange with Prahlad Maharaj, especially, and to make his words true. and to show himself to the Lord, to his greatest devotee, to protect him, to please him, to give his love, give his mercy. For that, for specifically to Prahlad Maharaj, he has come, he is appeared on the scene. So Satyam Vidatum Rijapritya Bhasitam is a real eternal servant. For his own servant of Prahlad Maharaj, he has appeared. Vyaptincha Bhudeshi, and otherwise his Lord is there in every atom, everywhere is pervaded, but he is not revealing to everybody and anybody. He's only revealing to his pure devotees, and we'll see the today's verse is mainly that's what Prabhupada is talking about Kanishta Madhyama Uttam Adhikari. So let's go further. Here the neophyte, the preacher, and the Mahabhagavat are highly advanced devotees, the pure devotees, Sri Prabhupada, and the spiritual masters. There are various levels in spiritual masters also, generally from anywhere from Nishta stage to Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Krishna Prem. These are the various stages. And Sri Prabhupada is Mahabhagavat appeared. So there's a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam which glorifies the Prabhupada, which gives the position of Sri Prabhupada, gives the results of a great Mahabhagavat Acharya. Nowhere in the world we have seen such a transformational results in all over the world of his preaching. Is Kirat Humandra Pulinda Pukkasa Avira Sambhayavana Kashadaya Anneja Papa Yedupashtraya Sudhanta Prabhu Vaishnavayama. Srimad Bhagavatam was talking about all the lowest of the lowest. All these races are there. Kasaris, Mongolians, Chinese, Japanese, all kinds of races who are generally eats dogs and whatnot, snakes and everything, all the abominable activities, all of them are simply delivered by taking the names of the holy names of Lord Vishnu. Suddhanti, just simply taking to the holy names, every one of them can be delivered. That's how potential the holy name of the Lord. More so when it is carried out by his pure devotee, the most compassionate pure devotee. And Srila Prabhupada has done that work. That verse gives the direct example of Srila Prabhupada's preaching, who has gone in this world. No one was able to. We have a hard time now ourselves following for regulated principle, hard time giving up coffee, tea, and imagine converting Indian itself, converting, imagine, think of a person to convert, to transform one person to change from ordinary thing, including even these days, even those who are supposed to follow Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, they themselves are eating, they themselves are not following this. Imagine. So one of the Maharaj was sharing that he was going on the flight, one of the Brahmana was there. He was saying how he's in Russia and he doesn't eat beef. He's telling, huh? Then do you eat other things? Yes. But he's a Brahmana. So these days that's how it is. It is a no more. That culture is not there at all. However, whatever line they are born in, it doesn't matter. That's why everybody follows Sutra Sambhava. Everybody is Sutra by default because there is no samskaras, there is no culture, there is no Vedic principle followed. So that's it's very difficult. But minute somebody takes, it doesn't matter. All this must may be there. But minute somebody takes to this process of Krishna consciousness, everybody can be delivered. Especially if he's coming, he's getting the mercy from an empowered Acharya like Srila Prabhupada. And imagine Prabhupada going to the whole world, converting or transforming these devotees who have no idea who is Krishna, he has no idea of four regulative principles, anything, and all kinds of sinful activities, fully absorbed from whole life, but they are able to take to the process of Krishna consciousness, chanting, and all these. It's a impossible task for us to do, even among Indians, to preach or to make one person and to bring into this kind of consciousness. It's a great difficulty. And converting others, all these races from China, Russia, Philippines, all these countries to convert. Imagine what it takes, how much. Yeah, he must be pure. How much he was empowered. So that's the caliber of Sri Prabhupada. So we should never underestimate his position. That's why we have to pray sincerely to him. So by his mercy only we can be able to actually purify ourselves. The highly advanced devotee is one who knows the conclusions of the Vedas in full knowledge. Thus, he becomes a devotee indeed. Not only he is convinced himself, but he can convince others on the strength of Vedic evidence. The advanced devotee can also see all other living entities as part and parcel of Supreme One. So that's why everywhere he is saying when he was walking on the beach, his consciousness is always thinking about the Lord. Everywhere he's thinking. He's not only human beings. When he was walking in the I think Juhu beach or other beach, and there he saw this one one bug flies. So then that bug was seeing, but the bug was there. Then the devotees are walking, but he is not paying. He is not really care. So he let them come. What is the big deal? I am giving a shelter to this whole ocean. What is the big deal of him? Them coming to me. So she's not running away. That bug, that particular living creature is like a bird, fly. You can say big one, kankada, I think they call. So he is not running away. He's not running away. He didn't care, basically. He was not fearful at all. Then Prabhupada was telling, imagine, he's taking a shelter of the ocean. He's not thinking, he's not fearful at all. Imagine if we all take shelter of Krishna like this living entity, then immediately we become Krishna conscious. Our life will be perfect. No, no fear. Like this living creature is not afraid of us. She didn't care about all of us. So generally, the living entities, other living entities, immediately, if you look at rabbit or any other animals, immediately some sound comes, immediately they run so fast. They are so afraid. So, but Prabhupada is looking at everything, always in Krishna consciousness, always preaching, always teaching in that way. So, this is the advanced devotee, this is the Mahabhagavat devotee who can see everywhere Krishna. The Madhyamadikari is also well versed in Shastra and can convince others also, but he is discriminated between the favorite and unfavorable. In other words, the Madhyamadikari does not care for the demoniac, the living entities, and the neophyte, Kanishthadikari, does not know much about Shastra, but is full faith in Supreme Personality. The Kumaras, however, were Mahabhagavat because after scrutinizingly studying the absolute truth, they became devotees. In other words, they were in full knowledge of Vedic conclusion. In Bhagavad Gita, it is confirmed by the Lord that there are many devotees, but the devotee who is fully conversant in the Vedic conclusion is very dear to him. Yeah. Tasmat Manushes Kachan may pray with one who preaches about his devotion service, about his Lord and his devotees, so he is the most dear to him. Everyone is trying to elevate himself to the highest position according to the mentality. The karmis who have the bodily concept of life trying to enjoy sense gratification to the utmost. Gnani's idea of highest position is merging into the effulgence of the Lord, but the devotee's highest position is preaching all over the world, the glories of Supreme Personality. Therefore, the devotees are actually the representatives of Supreme Lord and such. And as such, they travel all over the world directly as Narayana because they carry Narayana within his heart and preach his glories. The representatives of Narayana is as good as Narayana, but he is not to conclude like the Mayavadis that he has become Narayana. Generally, a sannyasi is addressed as Narayana by the Mayavadis. Their idea is that simply by taking sannyas, one becomes equal to Narayana or becomes Narayana himself. The Vaishnava conclusion is different as stated by Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. साक्षात् हरित्वेन समस्तशास्त्रे उक्तस्तदा वा व्यत एव साध्वे किन्तु प्रभुर्या प्रियेव तस्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम्. There is a Guru Astaka prayer we sing in Mangalarati in all his temples in front of the Lord, but glorifies. You can understand the position of the devotee. It's not ordinary person. Nowhere in the world, in the temples, no one glorifies the devotee. They all glorify Lord, but in our sampradaya, you can understand the position of a devotee. And we'll see directly from the Lord instructing Uddhava before he was leaving the planet on the same point. How dear or more than himself, more than the anybody, not even Lakshmi, not even Lord Balaram, not even any of his, not even his own body. He's telling how much he loves, how much his pure devotees are the most important to him than anybody else. So you can directly hear. Then that's why Siddhanta is to the highest level. So we can see from here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is glorifying and as good as spiritual master, especially Mahabhagavatam, devotee should be considered as good as Supreme Lord. Everything, whatever we do to the Lord, the worship, the honor, reverence, everything, the exactly same way one must worship as good as Lord, worship this Mahabhagavat devotee of the Lord. According to the Vaishnava philosophy, a devotee is as good as Narayana, not by becoming Narayana, but by becoming the most confidential servant of. Even though we should worship like that, but devotee, no, Shikopas never thought, Acharyas never thought, Prahlad Maharaj never thought, none of the Acharyas ever thought that they're always thinking, I'm the menial servant of my previous Acharyas. Forget about even becoming a god. They never take that position. That is the position. But Mayavadis think automatically they think they are Narayana already. But by becoming the most confidential servant of Narayana, such great personalities act as the spiritual masters for the benefit of the people in general, and as such, a spiritual master who is preaching the glories of Narayana should be accepted as Narayana, and he given all respects to him, due him. So you can understand the position of these pure devotees of the Lord. It's mentioned here. Now we'll sing the song Beautiful Bhajan. Then maybe I should say maybe 1 minute. Before that, maybe I should speak about, you may forget, about Lord Narasimha's appearance, as I described other day in Friday's class. How Prahlad Maharaj appeared as, in the previous life, he was a Vasudeva, his name. He was the son of Vasu Sharma, a great Brahmana who has 5 sons. He's the youngest. He was following till that point, but then he became attached somehow or the other by bad association, attached to prostitute. So, but somehow or the other, by Agnata Sukruti, by his previous practice, Lord is always protecting. Yesterday I was mentioning in the Krishna book class. Ati Maryada Langanam Bhakti Rakshana Lakshanam. The sixth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is talking about protection of a devotee. Lord always protects his devotee. Ajamila is the first example in the first chapter of sixth canto. Is talked about how Lord protected Ajamila even though he was sinful, but because of his previous engagement of devotion service, being a Brahmana's son, he has engaged in his activities. So Lord protected him, and then he's able to call out his son's name Narayana, and then immediately remembered Lord Narayana as he called out. Initially, he was not thinking Lord Narayana; he was thinking only his son, because Yamadutas came to snatch his soul, taking him away, his gross body, subtle body, basically, to put and take him to hell. But Vishnu Das immediately appeared because he immediately remembered Lord Narayana. So that's the reason. So Ajamila is protected like that. Indra, even though he performed simple activity, killing his own spiritual master, but Lord protected him because being a devotee, he's an empowered devotee. So that canto is talking about protecting. Lord always very compassionate to his specifically to his devotees. So in this case also Prahlad Maharaj being previously and also some mercy he has received through devotees, pure devotees. So he quarreled with prostitute and then whole night he didn't sleep, he didn't eat, both of them. So that lady, that prostitute became Apsara in the next life, and then after the next life she went back to Godhead. Then Lord Narasimha is explaining in Brahad Narasimha Puran to Prahlad Maharaj, how did I become your devotee? Then Lord Narasimha is explaining all this. You have become a great devotee now as Prahlad Maharaj in this life, and you will also go back. Like Apsara went back, so you will also go back in the next life. You will come back to me. So that Lord Narasimha is explaining. So that is the Prahlad Maharaj's previous history, and now Narasimha Chaturdasi is supposed to be celebrated on the 14th day of Chaturdasi. And when Chaturdasi combines, mixes with Trayodasi, one not supposed to perform that. Just like Ekadasi also. Outside world, everybody performs as soon as you see Ekadasi Tithi, but we don't do that because as per Shastra, clear injunction is there. It's an offense to follow like that. Ekadasi has to have certain standards. The Tithi has to come before the sunrise. There should be some duration. All that is considered. Then that's why we have to follow our Vaishnava calendar, not look at this panchang, that panchang, this calendar, that calendar. Rather follow Vaishnava calendar, and then you get the right information. So Chaturdasi cannot be Narsimha Chaturdasi cannot be done when Trayodasi is mixed. It has to also follow similar to the Ekadasi. And Swati Nakshatra is when Lord Narasimha appeared in that nakshatra, and it is more auspicious if it falls on Tuesday, more auspicious when it's in Swati Nakshatra, and also there is a one yoga, Siddha Yoga. When it falls on that day, within that Siddha Yoga, then that is the most auspicious Narasimha Chaturdasi, which has very highly high potency is there to that day. But even generally also, Narasimha Chaturdasi has tremendous potential. On that day, it is mentioned that one must take a vow in the morning as soon as we wake up, take resolution. One should rise early in the morning, brush his teeth, and make a resolution to observe the vow strictly according to the prescribed rules and regulations while constantly remembering me. This is in Haribhakti Vilas and Narsingh Puran. O Lord Narasimhadev, O greatly powerful one, please display compassion toward me. Today I will observe this vow of yours, so kindly help me to complete it without any impediment. Those who wants to completely obtain the benefit of this vow should not indulge in talking with sinful people, nor should they engage in idle gossip. On this sacred day, great souls who desire to observe this vow should give up conversing with women, playing chess, basically all the four regulative principles. They should constantly remember my form throughout the day. So in this way, one must so offer flowers, lotus flowers or any fragrant flowers on that day. Worship the Lord with arati, fruits, and various paraphernalia. Perform abhishek, especially since if we are not initiated or second initiated, especially if we are not second initiated, we may not be able to do on the altar. So then we should come to temple and take darshan of the Lord. We have Abhishek. So basically, it is saying one must do Abhishek, make the deity with deity itself, and then Abhishek, do the Abhishek of the deity of Lord Narasimha, Lakshmi Narasimha or Prahlad Narasimha. One must do the Abhishek with 16 upachar, 16 performance, 16 items we offer. So if you just come and observe, then you will also get the same benefit as you directly doing it by bringing paraphernalia, by offering whatever you can, flowers or fruits or nuts, mangoes. Lord Narasimha likes mangoes. On the sacred day, Narasimha Chaturdasi, which manifests in this world to destroy Prahlad's distress, one should first offer to Prahlad before worshipping Lord Hari. I was mentioning in the Friday's class also. If you want to get the mercy and blessings of Lord Narasimhadev, then you must first worship and pray to Prahlad Maharaj and please Prahlad Maharaj. Then we can please the Lord Narasimhadev because he has appeared specifically for Prahlad, Prakrusta Rupena Prahlad. He's the most blissful devotee of the Lord. So by satisfying him, by pleasing him, by praying to him, then we can please the Lord Narasimhadev. So then it gives mantra. One must offer flowers. One must offer sandalwood paste mixed with camphor. Generally, sandalwood paste is generally done by putting rose water, by putting a camphor, by putting a saffron. All these three or four things, and that is the best way to make sandalwood paste because now it's summer. I know yesterday, today is a little cold, but in India it's summer. That's when Narsingh Chaturdashi happens. So mantra for offering flowers. O Supreme Lord, O Narasimhadev, I worship you along with Lakshmi Devi with offerings of flowers that bloom in spring and tulsi leaves. My humble obeisance to you. Mantra for offering incense. Oh Mahavishnu, just to fulfill all of my desires, I will worship you with on offering of black agro, which is rarely available even for the demigods. All this obviously this is more but for the bhakta, for a devotee, one must look for benedictions of becoming unalloyed, unflinching, unmotivated, undeviating devotion service, always performing pure devotion service. That should be our ideal prayers. For Narasimhadev, by offering this ghee lamp which destroys the darkness of ignorance as well as all sinful reaction, one obtains special power. Therefore, I offer this ghee lamp to you. Mantra offering for food. O beloved Lord of Lakshmi, I place before you these offerings of food. May you be pleased with this offering and kindly remove all my sins. O Lord Narasimhadev, O Achita, O Lord of the demigod, O husband of Lakshmi, O Lord of the universe, let all my desires be fulfilled by offering this argya to you. In 16 Upachar, there is a, just like when guest comes to our house, we offer Achman, Padyam, washing the feet, washing the hands, and sprinkling some water on the head, argya, and so on. Then we make them, give them comfortable seat, and then garland, flowers, and then give them water, give them food. So the same way, Lord is actually invited like that. The 16 paraphernalia we perform every day in the morning at the temple on the altar. Small deities, because through Archa Vigraha, small deity is the main deity, not the big deities actually. That's why we must be attached to the small deity. It's very, very important to. So, because through small deity, only all these big deities doesn't move. Who moves? Everything's offering of food, offering of flower, everything to be done through the small deities. Small deities, Sri Radha Syamsundar and Sri Panchatattva. They are the small deities. Through them, actually, the worship of the big deities, they are getting. So, through small deities. So, that's why they are the Acha Vigraha. All the 16 Upachar, the Abhishek, everything is done in any of these temples, all done to the small deities. So, they are the actually the first and foremost to be worshipped and offered all the paraphernalia. O Mahavishnu, who wears yellow garments, O destroyer of fear, Prahlad, may you be satisfied with whatever little worship I offer you to the best of my ability, so that you bestow your mercy upon me. One should remain awake throughout the night while dancing, singing, playing musical instruments, reciting the Puranas, listening to discussions of my transcendental glories. Therefore, thereafter one should take bath early in the morning and worship me with love and devotion while following the above mentioned things without displaying any idleness. No mask of the demigod. Please deliver all those who have taken birth in my family as well as those who will take birth in future from the intolerance of ocean of material existence. O Lord, who lies on the bed of Anantasesha, who is Lord of the universe, O Narsingha, O husband of Lakshmi, O destroyer of the devotee sphere, I am suffering from great distress due to drowning in ocean of sinful activities and disease. So kindly lend me your fearless hand and give me protection. O Janardana, O Lord, who lies in the ocean of milk, O Supreme Lord, may you be pleased with my observance of this vow and may you bestow upon me material enjoyment and liberation. Obviously, we will not ask these two things, but we will ask for pure devotion. After worshipping the Lord and offering prayers to Him in this way, one should immerse the deity into the water of Ganga. This is when they make the deity with themselves. We don't need to do that. Then feed the Acharya sumptuously. Thereafter, one should bid farewell to the assembled Brahmanas while giving them dakshina. Then one should sit down and take prasad along with his friends while fixing his mind upon me. In this way, one should worship the Lord Narsingadev. So, today's class is going to be extended, so please be patient. ओहे वैष्णव ठाकुरा दयार सागर ईदासे करुणा कोरी दियपादाचया सुदहै अमाय तुम्हार चरण धोरी जय बेगा दोमी जय देव सासोदी जय गुणा देहो दासे जय सत्संगा देहो हे हमारे बोसेची संगे रासे एकाकी हमारा नाही पाया बाला हरिनाम संकीर्तने तुम्ही कृपा करी श्रद्धा बिंदु दिया देहो कृष्ण नाम धने कृष्णा से तुम्हार कृष्णा दिते पार हमार सकती आचे आमी तो कंगाल कृष्णा कृष्णा बोली दाई तव पाचे पाचे Okay, Vaishnava Thakur song. This is by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. O venerable Vaishnava, devotee of Krishna, O ocean of mercy, be merciful unto your servant. Give me the shade of your lotus feet and purify me. I hold on to your lotus feet. I teach me to control my six passions, rectify my six faults, bestow upon me the six qualities, and offer unto me six kinds of holy association. Why do not find the strength to carry alone the Sankirtan, the holy name of Hari? Please bless me by giving just one drop of faith with which to obtain the great treasure of the holy name of Krishna. Krishna is yours. You have the power to give him to me. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is praying, submitting to all the Vaishnavas because Krishna is there. They are carrying the Lord in the heart. So that's why he's not asking to the Lord. He's asking the devotees of the Lord to give Krishna to him. This is the way Bhaktivinoda Thakur Acharya is showing. You have the power to give him to me. I am simply your servant, running behind you, shouting Krishna, Krishna. So, six passions are those pertaining to words, mind, anger, tongue, stomach, genital. The six faults are overeating, attachment to material things, inability to follow regulative principles, sense gratification, useless idle talk, impure habits. Six positive qualities are enthusiasm in practicing devotion service, firm faith in devotion process, strong desire to attain prema bhakti, favorable service attitude, avoidance of non-devotees, appreciation of the company of devotees. The six methods of association are to go on to an assembly of devotees, to invite devotees in one's home, to discuss and hear devotion topics, to take Mahaprasad of devotees, and to offer Mahaprasad to devotees. These are six things. Yeah. So that's why yesterday I was mentioning that one must serve devotees with utmost sincerity. While we are doing service, also we should be very careful to follow, because nothing happens by chance. We should offer prayers to Tulsi Maharani, Sri Prabhupada, previous acharyas, spiritual masters, and Rupa Goswami, and then we should start service. We should chant few rounds and start any service, garlands or whatever service we are supposed to do, so that by their strength, by their intelligence, then we will be able to do proper service. Otherwise, we will do mistakes. We will not be attentive. Or things will be all over the place, or things may be falling down. So many things may happen. So because it's very everything has to be done very very attentively. So that is what the actual service means. So we have to concentrate. We cannot take cell phones, take calls, especially while doing service, unless it's really emergency. Or tell them we will call back. So that much attention must be there, given to the service of the Lord. Because otherwise, definitely we will be inattentive. We are not giving time. We are thinking Krishna is okay, and it is not okay actually. In devotional service, utmost attention should be paid. Offenses should be avoided. Krishna, we should be feeling Krishna and Srimad Radharani and our spiritual master is personally present, watching us doing service. So then we know how much attentive we will be. If Guru is there, if Prabhupada is there personally observing what we are doing, how we are doing, imagine how much attentive we will be. So that's how attentive we should be. No talking unless it is related to service. So that's how we should be very, very careful and attentive and meditative and prayerful. That is how the service should be done. We should be improving in that way. Then actually it will please. Automatically it will please, because when our heart is fully in that meditative prayerful mode of service, then automatically it will please the Sri Prabhupada, and then automatically Lord will be pleased. So that's how the service should be done. With the consciousness of the leading devotee who is guiding, and the consciousness of those who are serving, helping in the service, if they are not pure, then automatically things will not go properly. Things will not come out properly. Garland will not come out properly. You'll find hair, you'll find so many things. So either too short or too long, or it's not done properly, or the prasadam will not come out properly, too salty, or all these things may happen, because when the consciousness is not there, when it is not done with prayers, when it's not in prayerful mode, or a menial servant in that thought process is not there, then it won't come out properly, because what you put in is what the result will be. So that's why it must be done with carefully, with great meditative mood, that this is Krishna is directly giving me service through my spiritual master and Prabhupada, and I have to do it with utmost submission and seriousness and attention to the every minute details. So then things will be automatically flow. Strength will be given by the Acharya, because we are submitting, we are asking them to give strength and mercy and intelligence. Even though we might be great cooks or great experience for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, we might be doing, but we should always go in the mood that I don't know anything, it's all you. You have to give me mercy, give me the intelligence, give me the strength to do this service. Then we will be able to do, because they know the best. So Rupa Goswami knows the best of the best. He knows exactly how to do service, how to please Lalita and Vishaka, how to please Srimati Radharani. Then so automatically will do perfect service, because we are taking their mercy, their strength, and we are carrying out the duties. Then we are not dependent on our strength, on our mercy. Then we will not talk while doing service. We will be very attentive. We will not do other things. Our mind will not run around here and there while doing service. So this is how we should be absorbed. Even at home, ideally, we should hear a class, or we should put a kirtan, then do the service, and do the cooking or whatever. Ideally, if one parent or family or somebody is there, then nothing much you can do. But ideally, that's how. Then it's things come out very nicely when you do in that mode. You can try it out yourself, but I can guarantee you things will come out very very perfectly nicely. So when it is done in that way, because you are depending on the mercy of pure devotees. Now let's look at Ananda Lilamaya Vigrahaya Himavadivitya Sunduraya Tasmai Mahaprayam Rasapradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. आजानुलंबित भुजो कनकावदातो संकीर्तनैक पितरो कमलाय तक्षो विश्वम्बरो द्विजवरो युगधर्म पालो वंदे जगत प्रिय करो करुणावतारो। श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु की जय। आमा हाइते कृष्ण भक्ते बड़ा करी माने यहाँ इत बहुत शास्त्र वचन प्रमाणे Lord Krishna consider his devotees greater than himself. In this connection, the scriptures provide an abundance of evidence. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Ajamila, 6th chapter, 101 verse. There are almost 20-30 verses. Lord Krishna directly speaking. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is giving. Now, this is the most important, famous verse. This is Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 14th chapter, verse number 15. Maybe let me share so that you also can see. Hold on. Yeah, okay. Then Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila, chapter 6, 102, but this is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Na tata me priyatama atma yone na sankara na cha sankarshano na sri naivatma cha yata bhavan. Very, very important words. O Uddhava, neither Brahma, nor Shankara, nor Sankarshana, nor Lakshmi, nor even my own self is as dear to me as you. You can understand this is because pure devotees, how much Lord is giving the importance. Not even Lord Balaram, not even Lakshmi, not even Lord Shiva, not even so his own self, his own body. Lord is considering is more dear is his devotees. Further, Krishna Samya Nahi Tandra Madhurya Aswadana Bhakti Bhakta Bhave Kare Tandra Madhurya Charvana. The sweetness of Lord Krishna is not to be tasted by those who consider themselves equal to Krishna. It is to be tasted only through the sentiment of servitude. Shastrera Siddhanta Yi Vignera Anubhava Muda Loka Nahi Jani Bhavera Vaibhava. The conclusion, this conclusion of the revealed scriptures is also the realization of the experienced devotees. Fools and rascals, however, cannot understand the opulence of devotional emotions. Purport by Sri Prabhupada. When a person is liberated in the Sarupya form of liberation, having a spiritual form exactly like Vishnu, it is not possible for him to relish the relationship of Krishna's personal associates in their exchanges of mellows. So that's why we reject even liberation. So it must be with the highest level of Krishna Prema. The devotees of Krishna, however, in their loving relationship with Krishna, sometimes forget their own identity. Sometimes they think themselves one with Krishna and they relish still greater transcendental mellows in that way. People in general, because of their foolishness, only try to become masters of everything, forgetting the transcendental mellow of servitorship to the Lord. When a person is actually advanced in spiritual understanding, however, he can accept the transcendental servitorship of the Lord without hesitation. As below Mangal Thakur gives, Bhakti Sthiratarat Vai Bhagavan Syat Daivena Palati Divya Kishora Mukti Mukti Muklitanjali Sevate Asma Dharmadha Kam Samaya Pratiksha. How one should engage in fixed of devotion service to the Divya Kishoramurti, Radha Shyam Sundar, Rajendra Nandan Krishna. Worship the Lord with utmost devotion and rejecting all mukti, liberation and dharma at the palm because they stay at the doorstep. By performing pure devotions, automatically those things are byproducts you will get anyway. You don't need to look for that. Bhakta Bhava Angikari Balarama Lakshmana Advaita Nityananda Sesha Sankarshana Krishnera Madhurya Rasamrita Kare Pana Se Sukha Matta Kichu Nahi Janyana. Baladeva, Lakshmana, Advaitacharya, Lord Nityananda, Lord Sesha, Lord Sankarsana taste the nectarian mellows of transcendental bliss of Lord Krishna by recognizing themselves as being his devotees and servants. They're all mad with with that happiness. They know nothing else. You can understand. This is directly Lord. Lord is speaking. Uddhava is speaking to Uddhava. How much important you can understand. So, अन्येरा आचु कार्य अपने श्री कृष्ण अपना माधुर्य पाने हई इला सातृष्ण high ila satrishna. What to speak of others? Even Lord Krishna himself become thirsty to taste his own sweetness. So that's why he's appearing as devotee as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's why he's speaking here. Swamaधुर्य आस्वादिते करेना यतना भक्त भाव विनो नाहे ताहा आस्वादना. So that's the same way. If you want to really relish, then we must also serve the devotees. We must always be a servant of not so much to the Lord, but servant of his devotees first. Then you will become servant of the Lord, not directly. He tries to taste his own sweetness, but he cannot do so without accepting the emotions of a devotee. Lord Sri Krishna wanted to release the transcendental mellow of a devotee, and therefore he accepted the role of devotee by appearing as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. भक्त भाव अंगीकारी हैला अवतीर्ण Sri Krishna Chaitanya Rupe Sarva Bhave Purna. Therefore, Lord Krishna accepted the position of a devotee and descended in the form of Lord Chaitanya, who is complete in every respect. नाना भक्त भावे करेना स्वा माधुर्य पाना पूर्व करियाचि यही सिद्धांत व्याख्याना. He tastes his own sweetness through the various emotions of a devotee. I have formerly explained this conclusion. Purport by Sri Prabhupada. Lord Chaitanya, who is known as Sri Gaurahari, is complete in relishing all the different mellows, namely neutrality, servitorship, fraternity, parental affection, and conjugal love. By accepting the ecstasy of different grades of devotees, complete in relishing all the mellows of these relationships. अवतार गणेर भक्त भावे अधिकार भक्त भाव दे अधिक सुख nahi आर. All the incarnations are entitled to the emotions of devotees. There is no higher bliss than this. Purport. All the different incarnations of Lord Vishnu have the right to play the roles of servitors of Lord Krishna. See that statement clearly. By descending as devotees, when an incarnation gives up the understanding of his godhood and playing the part of servitor, he enjoys a great taste of transcendental mellows than when he plays the part of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If Lord Vishnu is taking the position of a servant of Lord Krishna, understand what is our position. When you want to get highest bliss, then we have to follow this instruction here. Moola Bhakta Avatar Sri Sankarshana Bhakta Avatar Tanhi Advaita Ganana. The original Bhakta Avatar is Sankarshan. Sri Advaita is counted among such incarnations. Among Sri Advaita Prabhu, although Sri Advaita Prabhu belongs to the Vishnu category, he displays servitorship to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as one of his associates. When Lord Vishnu appears as a servitor, he is called as an incarnation of a devotee of Lord Krishna. Sri Sankarsana, who is an incarnation of Vishnu in the spiritual sky known as Greater Vaikuntha, is the chief of the quadruple expansion. This is Sankarsana means Lord Balaram. Vasudeva Sankarsana Pradyumna. This is what it means. Quadruple means four personalities. They are there in the Golok Vrindavan as four personalities. Vasudeva Sankarsana Pradyumna. And there is also second quadruple expansion. From the first quadruple expansion, there is Lord Narayana, which is in second Vaikuntha, that is called Greater Vaikuntha. This is the in Golok Vrindavan. Then the below Vaikuntha, then Lord Narayana is there, and from Lord Narayana again, from him expands again second quadruple. Vasudeva Sankarsana, they are in the rest of the Vaikuntha, not in the Golok Vrindavan, they are in the second. Different purposes are there, and is the original incarnation of a devotee. Lord Mahavishnu is lying in the causal ocean, is a manifestation of Sankarsana, is the original personality of Godhead who glances over the material and efficient causes of cosmic manifestation. Advaita Prabhu is accepted as an incarnation of Mahavishnu. All the plenary manifestations of Sankarsana are indirect expansion of Lord Krishna. That consideration also makes Advaita Prabhu an eternal servitor of Gaura Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, he is accepted as devotee's incarnation. This is Panchatattva explanation. Advaita Acharya Goswami Mahima Apara Anhara Unkare Kaila Chaitanya Avatar. The glories of Sri Advaita Acharya are boundless for his sincere vibration brought about Lord Chaitanya's descent upon his earth. Sankirtana Pracharya Sabha Jagat Tarila Advaita Prasade Loka Prema Dana Paila. He liberated the universe by preaching the Sankirtan, and the people of the world received the treasure of love of Godhead through the mercy of Sri Advaita Acharya. Advaita Mahima Ananta ki pare kahite siye like ye sune mahajana haite. Who can describe the unlimited glories of Advaita Acharya? And as you can see, this by describing the Advaita Acharya glories, this has been described. Yesterday also we were reading, I think, other day. Krishna Premera यही एक अपूर्व प्रभाव गुरु समा लघु के कराये दास्य भाव. Lord, love for Krishna has this one unique effect. It imbues the superiors, equals, inferiors with the spirit of service to Lord Krishna. There are two kinds of devotional service. The way of Pancharatri Vidya, I think yesterday we read that. You can understand how much importance is given about the service to the Lord, including even the Lord Krishna's expansions of Lord Vishnu. They are also becoming in that mood, coming in that mood to serve. Yahara pramana suna sastrera vakyana mahad anubhava yate sudruda praman. For evidence, please listen to the example described in the revealed scriptures, which are corroborated by the realization of the great souls. Although no one is more respected elder for Krishna than Nanda Maharaj in Braja, who in the transcendental parental love has no knowledge that his son is the supreme personality, still the ecstatic love makes him, what to speak of others, feels himself to be a servant of Lord Krishna. He too prays for attachment and devotion to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, as the word from his own mouth gives evidence. My dear Uddhava, please hear me. In truth, Krishna is my son, but even if you think that he is God, I would still bear toward him my own feelings for my son. May my mind be attached to your Lord Krishna. May our minds be attached to the lotus feet of your Lord Krishna. May our tongues chant his holy names. May our bodies be lie prostrate before him. Wherever we wander in the material universe under the influence of karma by the will of the Lord, may our auspicious activities cause our attraction to Lord Krishna to increase. Lord Krishna's friends in Vrindavan, headed by Sri Ram, have pure paternal affection for Lord Krishna and have no idea of his opulences. Krishna Sange, Yuddha Kare, Skande, Arohana, Tara Dasya Bhave Kare, Charana Sevana. Although they fight with him and climb upon his shoulders, they worship his lotus feet in a spirit of servitude. Pada Samvahanam Chakru, Kejit Tasya Mahatma, Apare Hata Pravano, Vijanai some Vijayan, some of the friends of Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the message is massage his feet, and others whose sinful reaction had been destroyed, fan with him handheld fans. So that's why we generally do this service. Uh, how Lord Krishna and Balram are playing with coward boys after killing Dhenukasura and Talavan. From the beloved girlfriends of Lord Krishna and Vrindavan, the gopis, the dust of whose feet was desired by Sri Uddhava and who are more dear to Krishna than anyone else, regard themselves as Krishna's maid servants. O Lord, remover of the afflictions of inhabitants of Vrindavan, O hero of all women, O Lord, who destroy the pride of your devotees by your sweet, gentle smile, O friend, we are your maid servant. Please fulfill our desires and show us your attractive lotus face. You can understand how much important it is to be a servant of the Lord, not become master or not directly jump to the Lord, but rather becoming be in the service attitude and mode. So by that, their mercy, by the service of the devotees, then we can be delivered. Otherwise, there is no possibility. So that's why Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is speaking to Sanatana Goswami. Sadhu Shastra Krupa Yadi Krishna Unmukha Hoya Se Jeeva Nistare Maya Tahare Chadaye. If the conditioned soul becomes Krishna conscious by the mercy of saintly persons who voluntarily preach scriptural injunctions and help him to become Krishna conscious, the conditioned soul is then liberated from the clutches of Maya who gives him up. So that's why everything depends on the devotees, the pure devotees of the Lord's mercy. So when we serve sincerely, then our life will be perfected. So that is the essence of yesterday's and today's verse. Both are connected. How to do proper service, how to engage ourselves in devotional service, how to pray, how to worship. So everything being described by Pruth Maharaj in conversation with four Kumaras. The highest importance is given to serving and following the instructions of pure devotees. Thank you very much. We will stop here. Gandharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktan ki jai.